Hi, my name is Daniel Contreras, and this is my presentation on how to become a sports agent. So, first of all, a little bit about myself. I am a junior at Mater Dei High School, where I've played football, track, and lacrosse. I'd say sports have always been a very large part of my life, inspiring me to write this paper. And with the help of my mentor, Molly Hineker, we aim to answer the question, what does it take to be an NFL agent, and how do you get there? So, first of all, I'd like to talk about the transition from college to NFL because it's during this time that athletes face numerous challenges and having a knowledgeable agent becomes key. Agents range, Agencies ranging from large agencies like Athletes First to boutique agencies like World Class Sports play a pivotal role in advising athletes on enhancing their draft stock and securing endorsement deals. The landscape for college athletes has evolved with the introduction of name, image, and likeness rules, however. Modern agents must now navigate social media platforms and influencer marketing to maximize opportunities for their clients beyond the playing field. Trey Smith, depicted on the left, a former UCLA quarterback and founder of Powerhouse Agency, exemplifies this shift, successfully recruiting athletes such as Jake Haener and Caleb Williams. Smith highlights the multifaceted skills required of agents, including personalization, financial literacy, and evidence-based representations decisions. Finally, as the draft approaches, an agent's role becomes pivotal in managing athletes' expectations. Clear communication and transparency about draft realities helps athletes maintain realistic expectations and ultimately fosters a more positive draft experience. Next, I'd like to talk about assessing player value. Matching a player's unique talents with the right team is essential for both earning deserved compensation and utilizing their skills effectively. While flashy, big play athletes are fun to watch, statistics are the thing that ultimately define a player's worth. Running backs and linebackers who have been historically undervalued demonstrate this. Modern players such as Dalvin Cook and Austin Ekeler, who you can see depicted on the right, showcase skills that go far beyond a traditional running back's roles since they get a lot more involved in the passing game. However, teams remain hesitant to offer them large contracts due to the perceived short-lived primes of running backs, often plagued by injury risks and mental health concerns related to concussions. Ezekiel Elliott, who struggled after a significant extension, highlights the risks teams take when investing heavily in running backs. As you can see in this graph, following his massive extension in 2018, Elliott had a considerable decline in his overall performance and struggled to stay on the field due to a multitude of injuries. He went from 12 touchdowns in 2019 to only 6 in 2020. Furthermore, he rushed for 1,357 yards in 2019, but failed to pass 1,000 in 2020. Linebackers such as TJ Watt are now gaining recognition for their value as well. According to NFL research, Pittsburgh allowed the fewest total yards per game, 272.9, in the NFL from weeks 10 through 18 after Watt's return from a torn pectoral and knee injury. More than 100 yards less than the Steelers allowed without him. Watt clearly plays a paramount role in the Steelers' defense and can very well be the deciding factor between a win and a loss. This data also challenges the conventional belief that quarterbacks are the sole most valuable players. Lastly, I'd like to talk about negotiating player contracts. Negotiating player contracts is a critical skill for all sports agents, requiring a deep understanding of contract terms and exceptional negotiation abilities. The ideal outcome involves creating a situation that satisfies both athletes and organizations while allowing room for future restructuring. As highlighted by NFL agent Kim Mayali, timing is a key aspect of successful negotiations. Negotiating after a player's significant achievements or when the market conditions are favorable can create leverage. Researching and presenting specific statistics, awards, and examples of an athlete's contributions is vital. Additionally, being flexible and considering various contract clauses, such as guaranteed money and injury guarantees, ensures the athlete's financial security long term. Next, a solid education, often in business and law, is of course crucial for agents to develop these skills. This is why I decided to research the top sports law programs in the country, such as Thomas Jefferson School of Law and the University of Mississippi, who both offer valuable education with reasonable tuition costs, focused programs, and excellent student-to-faculty ratios. These factors enhance students' accessibility to education and reduce the likelihood of student debt, making them an excellent option for aspiring sports agents. In conclusion, throughout my time writing this research paper, I found a new appreciation for the sports agency world and now know for sure that this is a career I would like to pursue. My hope is that this research will inspire readers to pursue a career in sports business and help break down the necessary steps to do that. I believe that this paper versus readers in a number of life skills that go beyond just sports business, such as networking, researching, and negotiation. And ultimately, writing this research paper has worked to further fuel my dream of becoming a sports agent, and I hope it can do the same for anyone reading it. Thank you.
Awesome. Great. Yeah, hi. Great presentation. Bravo. It was very interesting. I especially liked it because you seemed very passionate because you yourself, are an athlete. For those who joined a few minutes later, Daniel actually is running out to a lacrosse game in a little more than a half an hour. So that's great. So we do have some questions coming in. One of the questions was, what was the most unexpected thing that you learned doing this project, since you are also very knowledgeable about sports?
Yeah, so I think that one of the most interesting things I learned was about the way that teams are now like deciding on how to assess player value. Because I learned that like universities like Dartmouth and like other colleges are coming up with systems that are called AV, which is for like approximate value. And
Uh-huh.
basically they'll assign like certain scores to certain athletes based on like for a defender, the number of tackles they have, or the number of interceptions they have, or the number of awards they've won. And I didn't even know they could do all that, and they put it into, like, a system, and then they can determine like, they can allot certain points to certain players, and then that's how they determine the value.
Okay, very interesting. Another question that came up was, you mentioned law as something that would prepare you for being an agent. Like, what about business? Like, if you have to negotiate all these contracts, how helpful, would but having a business experience be?
I think business also helps a lot because I think in contracts, especially, business and law sort of blend together because it's all about being able to verse yourself properly in the terms, but then also have negotiation skills, which any good businessman should have. And that's why it's important to understand leverage. And, like, for example, if my athlete just won an award for like something he did this season or having a great performance overall, I can use that as leverage to help him get a better contract and just take advantage of that opportunity.
Okay, great. And do most agents at this point, do they help their athletes with like financial planning, like moving forward, so that like if they've got a set amount of time that they're going to be able to participate in their sport, what can they do to take this money and make it work for them for the rest of their lives?
Yeah, so I think that's a key skill for any good agent to have because honestly, that's the thing that distinguishes your average agent and your good agent because the good agent actually cares about the athlete and that agent's going out of their way to ensure that the athlete is financially secure in the long run. And that's why when I was talking about the contracts and everything, that's where injury guarantees and upfront money, things like that are important because then you ensure that, let's say my athlete gets injured, he's still going to be making a lot of money and be able to support his family.
Great. Okay. Yeah, Daniel, thank you very much. I learned a lot about being a sport agent that I did not know. So I really appreciate it. And good luck to you with your lacrosse game today. I hope you win.
Thank you.
Okay.